Hello BookTube, my name is Adrienne, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a tag video for you. I've been really into tags lately, watching them, and so I decided I wanted to film a couple of them. So you may notice in the next couple of weeks that I look exactly the same shirt, same makeup, same everything, and that's because I'm literally filming these all back to back to back because I have the time. My kids are not in the house, it's quiet. So I'm taking advantage of the quiet to get some filming done. So I'm filming a bunch of tags because they're things I can just build up and keep. So anyway, today we are doing the stay-at-home book tag. This is one that's been circling the internet for quite a while. And I can say quite a while, it's been like a month, but I love the prompts, so we're gonna do this one. I will link the original creator down below and all that. So let's go ahead and get into the prompts. The first one is Laying in Bed, which is a book you could have or have read in a day. This is a bit of a brag, and I would apologize, but I'm proud of myself. And that is, I read Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas in a day. I loved this book so much. It had a slow burn relationship. It had lots of twists and turns that I didn't see coming. It had a really cool fantasy element to it. I really enjoyed this book, and I read it in a day. I have a vlog reading in a day. It's not a great vlog, but I'll link it down below if you're interested, where I read this in 24 hours, and I loved this book so much. So this one is one that is a bit of a brag because I read it in a day and I was super proud of myself, but also I don't feel that bad about bragging that I read this in a day because I was super proud of myself. So, okay, that's this one. Up next is Snacking, and that is a guilty pleasure book. For this one, I think I'm gonna have to go with the Selection series. These books are pretty good books, honestly. Like, they're a little bit trashy in term, I say trashy, it's not trashy. They're just good books, and they are, you know, very stereotypical. There's a love triangle. It's a dystopian. It's got all of like the trappings of like 2012 YA novels, but I love it. So this is absolutely a guilty pleasure. I love them. I circle back to them at least once a year to reread them because they're just fun to read and they're easy. So this is definitely a guilty pleasure read for me. Up next is Netflix, which is a series you want to start. I don't have a ton of series that I haven't already started. I have a lot of series I need to finish, but I think one that I do want to start is the Six of Crows duology, and I am actually planning to hopefully read this book in June, so we'll see. But this is a duology that I haven't jumped on the bandwagon for, and I probably should. The next one is Deep Clean, and that is a book that has been on your TBR for ages. I don't have a ton of books that have been on my TBR for ages because I purge my shelves once a year, and if a book has been on my shelves for too long, it usually goes away at that point because obviously I'm not interested in it. So I'm gonna have to think about this one for a minute. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to go with Black by Ted Dekker. This is a pretty old series. Like, let's see here if I can find the date of this in here. This edition was 2004. So this is a pretty old book. I've had this book, not since 2004, but I have had it for a long time, and I have wanted to read it for a long time. I really enjoy Ted Dekker's books. He writes some really, like, odd, like, fantasy and crime books. He writes a little bit of everything, honestly. And this is his most popular series, and I've never read it. So this has been on this has not been on my physical TBR for that long, but it has been on my mental TBR for over 10 years. It's been over 10 years because we moved to Illinois, where I live now, 10 years ago to like this month. And this book was on my TBR before that. So I should probably get around to this at some point, huh? The next one is Animal Crossing, which is a book you recently bought because of the hype. And I will be totally honest, I wasn't going to get Animal Crossing. I don't even own a Switch. I didn't even own a Switch. So I wasn't going to get Animal Crossing. And then about 2 weeks ago, I bought a Switch Lite and Animal Crossing, and I have been playing Animal Crossing for like 2 weeks. And it's obsessive, and it's a bit addictive, honestly. That's fun. So anyway, a book I bought because of the hype. Let's see here. I think for me it has to be Christina Lauren. The first book I actually got from Christina Lauren was Roomies, which I have a digital copy of. This is one of their newer books, on Honeymooners, which is the first physical book from them I have purchased. But I was watching a lot of Julie from Pages from Pens and Chelsea from Chelsea Darling Reads, and they both read Christina Lauren, and so they were hyping it up pretty good, and so I started reading them, and I really enjoy Christina Lauren. So I would say I definitely bought these because of the hype. The next one is Productivity, and that is a book you learned from or a book that impacted you. I think for this one, I'm gonna go with a book I do now own physically. I want to, but I just haven't gotten it yet, and that is The Names They Gave Us by Emery Lord. This book I went into very skeptically because it is about a Christian person who starts to question their religion due to some pretty big life circumstances. And so I went into this a bit hesitantly because I know from past books I have read, when that kind of topic is breached, it shows religion in a very only a negative light. It does not show the good parts, because there are things about religion that are negative. Let's just be real. But there are a lot of good things from it as well. So I was really hesitant going into this, but I ended up really loving this book. It showed the good stuff, it showed the bad stuff, it showed someone dealing with some really real tough things, and I really appreciated this book, and I definitely had a big impact on my life when I read it. Next up is FaceTime, and that is a book that you were gifted. I know exactly what I'm going to pick for this one. A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. This is the collected poems and songs from Fred Rogers, who did Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and I loved watching Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood growing up, and my friend Gabby got me this for Christmas this past year because she knew that I loved this. It was on my Amazon wish list, and she thought I could also read it with my daughter, and we have been reading it together very slowly, which is why there's this thing in here. We've been reading it together. So I really love this, and Gabby gave it to me, so this was definitely a gifted book that I really appreciate. The next one is Self-Care, and that is, what is one thing you have done recently to look after yourself? The two things I can say for that is getting myself a Switch in Animal Crossing, which I talked about. I realize that doesn't sound like self-care necessarily, probably. It sounds like overindulgence maybe. But for me, it definitely feels like self-care because I don't treat myself to things very often. I realize I have an entire shelf of books behind me, but I really don't buy books that often. So getting a Switch and getting Animal Crossing was definitely a self-care thing because it was something that I did for myself, not for anybody else. It was just for me. So that was definitely self-care. And the other big thing I think for self-care is kicking my family out of my house occasionally. Like my husband has the kids out playing right now. I am completely alone in my house, and it's so nice. So I would say something I've done for myself is making sure I have some alone time even when everybody's home all the time. So I definitely say that was one. And then a bonus one is name a book that is coming out soon. Honestly, I don't know. Because a lot of the books that I knew were coming out soon, their publication dates have been pushed off. So I don't even know what's coming out soon that I'm really excited about because all the dates have changed. Hold on, I'm going to pull up my Amazon pre-orders on my computer because it will tell me what books are coming out soon that I'm excited about because I pre-ordered them. Oh, here's one. My Calamity Jane by the Lady Janies. Cynthia Han, Birdie Ashton, and Cynthia Meadows. Their next one in their Lady Janie series, My Calamity Jane, comes out June 4th. So I'm actually really excited about those. I have the first two, My Lady Jane and My Plain Jane, on my shelf, just out of frame over here. But I really love them and they're a lot of fun. And so their new one comes out June 4th. So that's one I'm excited about, assuming they don't end up moving the date, but I'm excited about it. So yeah, there you go, guys. That is all I have for this tag video today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this interesting. Let me know if you decide to do this tag because honestly, I might be the last one to do this. I feel like everybody's done this tag. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.